All right, shalom. This is Kanaksa Anban Yasha from the GMS Lions and Camp. First and foremost, I'd like to say Kal Halal La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Rakar Kadash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing this truth and sincerity and truth throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Lamb backing off of a lesson that I did, that the elder did, Harold Wan, basically talking about the introduction of the petrol yuan, petrol ruble, and cryptocurrencies by Venezuela through the hands of Russia with Venezuela and the yuan through China. And Russia's been backing China with the introduction to the petrol yuan. I don't know how to pronounce it, but y'all get what I'm saying. We've been going in on this topic pretty much all week. Similar topics also. Okay. So, and this article is an article that I found 3 months ago. So this basically, they came into the 2018 just trying to destroy the foundation of the American economy, which is the petrodollar, and which is the basis of the world economy right now. Because in the whole mixture of world currencies that you had the petrodollar was the more dominant one out of them all, because it wasn't backed by anything but fierce force. America was really forcing the whole world to use this currency, and every time somebody tried to go aside from using that currency, they would go to war with them. All right, and the crazy part about it, what's it called it? China, China and Russia have been doing real big, major over the past 3 years, major energy deals together, and they haven't been involving the petrodollar. And the crazy part about it is Russia is being a shelter to those like countries like Venezuela, giving them alternatives so they don't have to deal with hyperinflation being forced upon them um, by U.S. sanctions. And this is the same thing that the United States did to Japan during World War II to try to involve themselves in the war. So this is a big hot war being put together with this whole financial economic war that you see right now. Okay. And all the swords are pointing at America. Everybody's trying to, because America has the stronghold over everything. All right, America is the one that's forcing all its agenda, that's forcing the confusion. All right, she has spread her fornication throughout all the land. Okay, this is Revelation 18:3. It says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication." All right, so she went through from nation to nation, kingdom to kingdom, country to country, all right, forcefully spreading her fornications, all right, and creating wrath, putting military bases there, scaring the people, all right, setting off bombs in certain lands, and killing innocent people just to spread forth what they call democracy, which is demonocracy. Okay, it says, "For nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornications with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." But the thing about it is, America didn't have any delicacies. America was taking things from other nations and exporting them and controlling the trade routes. And that's why they were able to try to throw sanctions on these other nations. But what happens when you take their might, their power, or you break their teeth? All right, take that power, that money that they have away from them. All right, they are nothing. All right. Grab scripture real quick. All right, this is Psalms 58:6. "Break their teeth, O Yahweh, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lion, O Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai." And that teeth is his power. All right, his force behind his system, his money, his military, everything behind this system that he set up is really his power. All right. And you're seeing his power being broken down, right, as we speak, with the introduction of these different forms of currencies that are bypassing the sanctions that the U.S. is trying to put on everybody, trade embargoes, hyperinflations. They literally destroy economies, right? They America and any regime or country that America goes to so-called try to spread democracy or freedom, they totally destroy it, and they're at a worse state that they were in the beginning, and they got to try to seek financial help from somewhere. All right, but now it's to the point where everybody's getting tired of trying to get like America digs holes for these nations and pushes them in the holes and try to give them some type of plan or structure to get out of that hole according to how they want to set it up. Okay, but the thing about it is, people are starting to realize, like, it's all an optical illusion. America is the one that's creating this hell. You know, the so-called white man is the one that's creating this hell everywhere he goes. How are you going to pull him? How are you going to pull him? How is he going to pull you out of the hell that he's sending forth? All right. This is Habakkuk 2:5. He also became because he has transgressed by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. All right, you got America trying to go everywhere to try to set up societies how they deem to be acceptable, an acceptable society to humanity. But the thing about it is, they're not sending anything humane. They're sending forth death and hell and confusion. All right, this is the daughter of Babylon. It says. So Habakkuk 2:5. He also, because he has transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell. All right, and as death. Every time he enlarges his desire, he sends forth hell and death. That's the only thing that comes from this so-called system that the so-called white man is setting up through the power and might of America. Okay, and it says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered up unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. All right. So 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 yeah, this devil can't keep it at home, man. But you can see these people are starting to rise up against this devil. Okay. Matter of fact, he enlarges his son as hell. Okay. So all the hell that that these devils bring forth, man, is going to be waiting for them in the time of judgment, right? This is Isaiah 14:9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All right. So matter of fact, let me keep going. It says, they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Because what's going to happen is America is going to be like a third world country pretty soon. All right, soon as all these um uh counter moves to all these trade sanctions um really take effect on the world global economy, it's going to collapse the global economy, but it's going to be backed. All these other nations are going to be backed by some kind of form of cryptocurrency. All right, and then America's just going to crumble, and they're going to introduce the RFID chip and say, "Hey, we have to do the same thing these other nations are doing. We're going to have to go with some form of cryptocurrency. You got the Fed coin, you have Bitcoin. All right, you have what is the crypto ruble? Um, and China has their own form of cryptocurrencies. So basically, it's all an introduction to the destruction of America and an introduction to the RFID chip, okay, which is the mark of the beast, Revelations 13. Okay, let me get this one article. It says Russia and Venezuela hope to use digital currency to defang sanctions. This was done 3 months ago, but it's really taking effect right now. This article was written 3 months ago. I'm gonna get another article that the elder brought out. Um, I found that article also. It says there is a will and some digital currency. It seems there is a way, or at least that it is the hope of Russian and Venezuelan officials who aim to use the rise of wave of digital currency in the marketplace as a handy tool to bypass U.S. supported sanctions. The goal is to leverage the long promised new financial agriculture possible through cryptocurrency for national ends through the use of the state supervised digital currencies. Okay, the new money and financial infrastructure which is decentralized base. Okay, now all right, it's not centralized anymore. It's just decentralized. I want to mention that in his lesson. So now, with that being said, it gives another platform for other types of currencies to come in, not one specific group putting all this one what they choose as a centralized base upon what they how they feel the market value should be. It's transformed. Now you have other currencies um from backed by gold, backed by oil, all right, um, that come into play. All right. The new money and financial infrastructure with the decentralized base could be a useful means by which to sidestep the central currency authorities of the world, particularly the United States. Okay, so once like how here in Jacksonville, Florida, you have one power company and it's monopolized. They try to say it's not, but it is because every time somebody tries to move another power company here, they aggressively buy them out, and they will not allow another power company to come in Jacksonville, Florida. So we have hyperinflation on our utilities like water, gas, sewage, electricity, all those things because there's nothing to compete with JEA. Like in the past, there was nothing really that could compete with the U.S. petrodollar. So now there's some competition. There's other alternatives, and guess what? With these alternatives, it takes away from the sanctions because all right, the United States was trying to say you got to use our money in order to trade. Okay, and when you have to buy our currency at a fraction, at a surplus of what it's worth. All right, because it's not worth anything, but you got to buy it in order to trade. So now that's a double hit to the economy to whoever's trying to trade in this trade market. So now on top of that, if you add sanctions, okay, it's like now you could buy some of our currency to trade in the trade market, but I'm going to tax you this and tax you that if you trade with this person or if you do that with this person. You have to trade according to our guidelines. Okay, so what that does, it creates hyperinflation to whatever country, and that's what happened with Venezuela. It creates that crash in their economy because they can't afford to trade. They can't afford to trade. So therefore, now their whole country is impoverished, and that's what these upper elites do. And matter of fact, George Soros made a comment saying that he's going to do the same thing with America. He's going to get Trump out of the way. He's going to buy up all the Fed notes or whatever, and just write them off. Okay, because and then what that's going to do is collapse the economy. So what is and nobody's going to be using the petrodollar anymore. Okay, so now you create a different playing field for the world economy. So now America is no longer the dictator, no longer the powerhouse. So it doesn't really matter how many nuclear missiles um, uh, everybody stockpiles because guess what? Pretty soon America's going to have to kick off a war because if it waits too long, America's not going to have the money to fight. All right, so they're gonna have to kick it off at an opportune time, so they can try to stop the uprise of China and Russia, and B, because they make money off of wars also. But this is the fall of America. You can see it. All right, it says the goal is to leverage the long promised new financial agriculture possible through cryptocurrency for national ends through the use of state sponsored digital currencies. The new money and financial infrastructure with the decentralized base could be used as a means by which to sidestep the central currency authorities of the world, particularly the United States. I read that already, but I'm glad I read it again. All right. The idea may seem a bit far-fetched, and so because this was written 3 months ago, all right, so they said the idea kind of felt was a little bit far-fetched, but however, um, it's already happening. Okay, let me see. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. I think this is the one the elder was using. Um, it says Russia reportedly helped. Right now, the previous one it says Russia was looking to help. All right, let's go to the previous. Um, all right, so Russia and Venezuela hope to use digital currency to defang sanctions. That was written 3 months ago. Okay, now it says this one was written 7 days ago. It says Russia reportedly helped Venezuela launch its petro cryptocurrency to skirt U.S. sanctions. All right. Now, so now Venezuela can get back into the game and help stabilize their economy without being hit with the sanctions of the U.S. All right, they kind of what else say skirt, like skirt. Not just playing, but anyway. So now what does that do? That takes more power. That's one tooth gone out of the mouth of Esau, out of the mouth of America. All right, so you're destructuring and tearing down the infrastructure of the United States, which is backed by their force and their military and their power. Okay, but the fiat currency was really backed by the might and the power because it didn't have any central value. It couldn't be backed by gold, and it couldn't be backed by petroleum either. It was just a piece of paper that was forced on the world economy through mafia's ties, like mafia style. Okay, it says Venezuela stated back backed cryptocurrency. The Petro is a half-hidden joint venture between Venezuela and Russian officials and businessmen, according to the new report by Time. The Petro, which first went on pre-sale on February 20th, is the world's first state-backed cryptocurrency. Its value is tied to the country's oil reserves. See, really, this cryptocurrency has more value than the petrodollar already. Because what? It's backed by its country oil reserve. America doesn't have any resources to back anything by. Okay? All right, sources told Time the aim of the petro was to erode the power of U.S. sanctions. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has previously referred to the petro as a kryptonite and the U.S. government as Superman. Wow, that's a punch in the nuts right there. Because that's exactly what it is. This whole setup is the kryptonite for the fall of the U.S. government, the system that is set up. This system is going to crash and burn like it did. Slakia, hold on. All right, so you had the Federal Reserve created in 1913, the Great Depression in 1929 to 1939, and so and shortly after, I think you had the gold standards was the gold standard on the U.S. dollar was taken away, so it wasn't backed by gold any longer, and from that point, it had no backing. So they created this system for it to be backed, right? And they did it through power and might and through war. Okay, but now these other countries are like, look, we can't fight against you physically, but we could join these other countries and fight against you economically, and that way those bigger countries like Russia and China and North Korea and Iran can protect these other countries. Mainly Russia, though. Russia's going to be the protector of a lot of these countries, according to I think it's Ezekiel 38 with Gog and Magog. All right, it says, go back to the article. It says an executive at a Russian state bank told Time that senior advisor in the Kremlin oversaw the diplomat of the Petro and the Russian President Vladimir Putin signed off on the project in 2017, last year. All right. People close to Putin, they told him this is how to avoid the sanctions the executive told time. This is how the whole thing started. All right, so this is how the whole makeup for them to punch America in the mouth with their own shit. All right, okay, all right. Let me grab a script. All right, this is Isaiah 14 and 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory. Every one is his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess nor fill the faces of the world with cities. And that's what Esau was doing. That's what America was doing, trying to conquer the whole world, and they pretty much did it. But this is now their fall. Okay, for I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. I will also make a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the bosom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. All right. All right. It says, the Lord of hosts has sworn, surely, saying, surely, as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have purposed, so shall it stand. All right. I will I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread down underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from them, off of them, and his burden depart off of their shoulders. And that's and these times the Assyrians represent America. Okay. And so the Most High says he's speaking of this, so it's gonna come to pass. Okay. All right, it says, let me read that again. It said, the Lord of hosts, this is Isaiah 14:24. It said, the Lord of hosts hath sworn surely, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand. Because what does it say? His word shall not return void, man. With that being said, I want to give all glory and praise to Kal Halala Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rakak, Radash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings and salutation to the men, women, and children that believe on the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And now is the time to believe. It's always been the time to believe, but now is the real time to believe, because, man, the Most High is coming down on this devil, man. All right, and his knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of that time and strength of salvation. All right, so gird yourself with truth and with faith. All right, shalom.